का ताज होता है एक चुटकी सिंदूर, हर औरत का ख्वाब होता है एक चुटकी सिंदूर.
My God, amazing. That was amazing. Seriously, I can't believe, because back then when I saw the film, I was in seventh grade, and I didn't know that Deepika Padukone has been dubbed. And we hadn't met back then. And then I got to know that you have, lent your voice to Deepika in Om Shanti Om as well. And then I remembered this famous dialogue, Ek Chutki Sindoor Ki Keemat. So I definitely wanted to listen to it once. So amazing. I really appreciate that. It's
Thank you.
totally, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love the dialogue. I mean, who would ever speak such melodramatic dialogue, right?
Ek Chutki Sindoor Ki Keemat tum kya jano. And Deepika has acted so well.
It is the epitome of everything that Bollywood stands for. I think
But
all the
it became
melodrama that Bollywood stands
Yeah,
for.
but we still people are go crazy, about this dialogue because it's one of the most iconic dialogues that
It
Bollywood has
is.
seen.
It is written
And,
fantastically, I must say,
and
by my friend Mayur Puri.
okay, and what better than it has been said by you actually? It's your voice, and
I
right
know.
now,
I'm really lucky to have this kind of an iconic dialogue, in my portfolio. It's really lucky.
can you just say it once? एक चुटकी सिंदूर की कीमत तुम क्या जानो?
एक चुटकी सिंदूर की कीमत तुम क्या जानो रमेश बाबू.
Amazing.
We've reached a point with saying this dialogue that I can say it in like in the funniest of ways now. So
This
because
time you didn't
people
sound
have
like Deepika, no?
exactly exactly now I've reached a point of having fun with this dialogue.
Okay,
So
cool.
yeah,
Okay, so I mentioned some Hollywood actresses, Angelina Jolie, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Cameron Diaz, and there are a lot of other actresses I've written down actually. But any difference because their way of delivering the dialogues is very different as compared to our
yeah,
Desi actresses, or
yeah,
or the screenplay, the dialogue. It's completely different, you know.
yeah.
So is there a difference that as you said, that
And
every
in
actor is
fact, I
different?
feel because again, you're just reminding me of the fact that when you said that, I come across as a very refined voice, it's also because I've dubbed for these actresses and these particular roles. Because, when you're trying to emulate them and
Yeah.
when you're trying to speak like them, you learn from some amazing performances and you're trying to
Definitely.
copy some amazing performances.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that itself, just trying to do that is so much of practice and so much of learning that you really start going higher and higher in capability just from doing that. Catherine Zeta-Jones, one of my favorite films that I dubbed for her was The Mask of Zorro.
Okay.
And
Wow.
boy, again, what an amazing film in terms of performance, you know.
I know.
Um, yeah, Angelina Jolie, again, the very
Yeah.
deep, deep voice that she
Deep voice.
had
Yeah,
in
yeah. In
one of
Wanted, I
the
think
Wanted, and one of the films where she was it Tomb Raider?
I don't know. I just know this one film of hers in which you've dubbed.
Yeah, yeah. One of those other films, I did as well. And each actress, the kind of performance they bring, the kind of sensitivity they bring, and how you have to change yourself accordingly on whether it's an emotional role, whether it's a hard-hitting role, whether it's a funny role, whether it's a very oomphy role, or
Mhm.
whether it's a very very sensitive kind of role. You have to keep on changing your style, right?
It's a kind of
Depending on,
evolution. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah.
exactly how the actor has done. You have to try and copy her to the T. And that copying her to the T is what really teaches you everything, really.
Definitely,
So, yeah, you
definitely.
have to keep trying to change yourself as per each actress that you do.
Okay. Um, any other work you really want to mention or you want to tell us about, which you really enjoy or you're proud of, or something which maybe not many people know about, and it may be ads, it may be singer, because I've heard that you're a trained singer. Is that right?
Yes, but I've never considered it one of my great skills.
Okay. But,
I
but any other
I
work?
I I learned with my mother. I sang with my mother. I performed with my mother, but that's where it ended. I don't think I have the skill or the confidence to go it alone, so far as
Okay.
singing is concerned. But yeah, I mean, in our family, singing, dancing, acting, the performing arts very strong in our family. So we've done it all.
Yes, I just saw that.
Uh, yeah, so we've done it all, and yeah, I mean, I loved my work in Om Shanti Om. I liked my work in Rockstar because I enjoyed doing these films. I loved Gulam. I loved um, Dushman. I loved Jism, Raz. I loved Raz and Jism. So yeah, some really iconic films, I think, back in the day.
But then, other than that, anything you have dubbed for, anything you've recorded, anything pertaining to the unknown, which people don't know actually.
So very recently, I recorded an audiobook for Audible. I did the Indian English rendition for Pride and Prejudice,
Okay.
and that is something very close to my heart because you know the kind of scope that gave me of storytelling and reading such a beautiful piece of work. It was just amazing. That is something which was a revelation to me, something new for me, and which was a revelation for me, which was fantastic. I really love that.
So, should I say that as an artist grows, he or she finds substance in their work? Is it how it is?
Absolutely, absolutely. I've also really enjoyed doing voiceovers of late. Like, for example, I did the narration for Padmavat. So the
I
Hindi narration for Padmavat.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna see.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go and watch that film now after this. I'm sure
yeah.
most of us have seen films in which you have dubbed, but maybe not everyone was aware that it was your voice. But I'm sure most of our viewers are gonna go and watch those films only for you. And Padmavat, I'm definitely gonna watch because I didn't observe that. I
Yeah,
maybe just
because a lot of people may have thought that it's Deepika's voiceover and
I
not
don't
realize
remember
that it's a
actually the
different
film. I
voice.
don't remember it
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Anyway,
So
another thing.
that kind of work really voiceover work really interests me.
Yeah.
Narration, voiceover, that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Interesting. So, I read this about you. Is it true that you have also dubbed Aishwarya Rai in some ad, Coca-Cola ad or something in 2000?
Um, did I dub for Aishwarya? I've dubbed for Aishwarya many times, mostly in languages. Um, I don't know if I did any English or Hindi for her. I can't remember. But I've done mostly all languages for her. Yeah.
For Aishwarya Rai.
Yeah. And I
And
dubbed um, this Rituparna Ghosh's film.
Raincoat.
No, no. The Aishwarya one before that.
Yeah,
Uh,
Chokher Bali.
Chokhir Bali. I dubbed the Hindi for that. Yeah.
It was made in Bengali. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you dubbed it in Hindi.
Yeah.
Aishwarya. Okay, so Aishwarya is also there in the list. Okay, nice. The Miss World is also there.
Mhm.
So, another actress you've dubbed from Hindi to English this time is Radhika Apte in Sacred Games, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how was that experience dubbing in English for a change from Hindi to English?
That was good. I dubbed for her in Sacred Games. I dubbed for her in Ghoul.
Okay. Okay.
Both of those. And that was fun. Yeah, that was fun. Her role in Ghoul was quite extensive
Okay.
and quite trying. But yeah, that was interesting because of course, I mean English comes to us so naturally, so that was good.
That was good. Now, definitely a great artist that you are, and in the introduction, I did mention that you're a great artist, definitely. But then you're also an amazing entrepreneur. You have been presiding over Sound and Vision for many years now, and along with your mother, you have worked, you have gained experience and everything. You have a lot of studios of sound and vision now in the city. You have 8 studios of sound and vision. You have collaboration with Q Labs, and there are 8 studios again over there. And there are some across the country. I think you mentioned Bangalore to me, didn't you?
Yeah, we have now partners in Kolkata, in Pune, in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Cochin.
So how
So
challenging? Bring the entrepreneur inside you. How challenging is it for you? No, no, keep the artist aside. As an entrepreneur, how what is the work like? Is it?
Rohan, darling, I put the artist aside a long time ago.
Oh, my
Once you
God.
once you get
Very
into this,
serious, it seems. Because I've heard
yeah,
from
because
artists, I've heard that the work in sound and vision goes on with 24 hours. 24 hours are not enough for sound and vision, is what I've heard. And
yeah, well, yeah, it does take a lot. It does take a lot. I mean, it is definitely hard work. And once you choose to be an entrepreneur, I think everything else takes a back seat. You know, that becomes your first baby, because you have so much of responsibility, so many people to look after, so many clients to look after, so much of
so
work to
it
look
is so
after.
much, actually.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it is a hell of a lot. It's a
So
hell of a
what
lot.
is the modus operandi, the way of working of sound and vision? How do you manage it? What is of the staff of
Well,
you?
I have a fantastic team, built slowly, partly, firstly by my mother. I've inherited her team, and then they have now moved on to be the team heads, heads of department,
Okay,
and
okay.
then now I've hired a lot of freshers under them, so they are training all the freshers, and the freshers are now learning how to do recording, how to do dubbing direction, how to do mixing, how to do casting, coordination, script evaluation, all of that. So, yeah, we have huge teams now in place.
It's a lot. It's a lot on the plate. And viewers, all my friends, I would like to tell you that I've had the opportunity to work in sound and vision a couple of times. The warmth you get over there is like nowhere, literally. And of course, the staff is great. The artists over there, Mona ji over here. But another thing is the hospitality, which is very important when you, especially when the day is tedious with strenuous work like that. I think Sound and Vision provides with snacks and lunch for all the artists and the staff and everyone. And definitely all love you. You know, all everyone loves you, your team. As you said, that all of them are growing, all of them are learning new and new things. This is the modus operandi of Sound and Vision, which is spectacular, which is amazing, which
Yeah,
is not seen anywhere. And of course, it's not easy to manage so many studios, such a big enterprise, and the legacy that your mom has
yeah,
left long in your
yeah,
kitty. Mona Di, right? I won't call you
yeah,
Mona Ji as you said, Mona Di. Uh,
yeah. I don't want to sound like a madam.
yeah, okay, Mona Di.
Yeah.
Mona Di. So, you were fluent in Bengali, in Oriya, because of your parents, in English because you went to England and of course you studied in English medium school over here, in Hindi because you have been brought up in Bombay watching Bollywood
Hmm.
films. Do you think that command over a language, especially for an actor or a voiceover artist, how do you think you should actually obtain the command over language? Because I've seen artists who don't have command over a specific language and they have the guts
Yeah.
to actually face the mic, face the camera, and speak in a language in which they're not fluent, absolutely not
Yeah.
fluent in. So, how do
Yeah.
you gain that command? Is it listening? What is it?
Yes, you have to listen, you have to be interested in words. And what I like to say always is that you have to learn how to make magic with words. But I think what really gets you there is poetry. You
Yeah.
must learn to appreciate poetry. Any language, if you start learning to appreciate poetry and start learning how to play around with words, poetry and storytelling, by far, they are the best teachers of language, you know. Yes, to an extent, news reading also teaches you a lot of language. It teaches you a lot of formal language. But poetry and storytelling mainly teaches you a lot of wordplay. And that's
Okay.
very important to learn the importance of words, the importance of a certain sequence of words. When something is said a particular way, how it can sound and mean, and when it is said in a slightly different way, how it can drastically change the meaning.
Definitely. And I think the
So,
mother tongue interference is also something we need to see over here.
yeah,
Because when you're speaking
yeah,
in Hindi, your Hindi should sound like Hindi. If you're speaking
right.
in a regional language other than Hindi, then it should sound like that. Your English has to be, of course, we stay in India, so Indian English is different as compared to British or American English. So
Yeah,
I think that has to be kept in mind. Mother tongue interference is one thing which maybe a voice actor, an actor who's a budding artist definitely should keep in mind? Am I right? Is
Absolutely. You know, regional influences are definitely very strong in India. Uh, and all of us have them. We all come from regional backgrounds. So it's important to know when to use it to your benefit and when to lose it to your benefit.
okay. That's interesting. That's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So, which all languages other than these mentioned do you speak? Do you speak my mother tongue, Marathi?
I'm very bad at it, but yes, I can follow and I can speak. My
Can you
husband
try?
speaks it
Can
very
you try
well.
something? Speaking something in Marathi. माझ्याशी काहीतरी बोलू शकतेस का?
हाँ बोलू शकते लेकिन थोड़ा भूलभाल हो जाता है
विसरतेस का? कळत नाही. So yeah, that's nice. That's nice. So basically, you can understand Marathi.
but I can really entertain people with my Marathi.
Okay.
It's all like all over the place. It has a bit of national integration in there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So someone just asked over here about training, special training for children. You know, we have a lot of child artists who are budding, whose voices are nice. And as you said that you also started as a child artist. Are there any special training courses? Just someone just asked over here, or
for children.
for children? Yeah.
Um, Not that I know of, because frankly, I also don't really encourage training children. I like them to learn on the job because, children the children are natural storytellers. So they have, and they are natural parrots. So you can make them perform any way you like just by telling them to repeat after you. And they are very good at that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they learn very fast. And you can't teach a child something he doesn't want to learn. So only if he's interested or if she's interested and she's really wanting to do it, if she finds it exciting, all you have to do is make them sit and watch a dub and they'll pick it up like that. Children learn very,
Yes,
very
Mark.
fast.
Definitely. The receptive power
You
is
know?
really high. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, what you can do to train a child is constantly expose them to speaking, poetry, speaking nursery rhymes, doing storytelling, singing songs, and always like they're going to perform. So that makes a lot of difference.
Okay.
Work
Um,
on their speech skills.
Definitely. I think that is a fine answer, whoever who asked this question. That I think it's also about more of an experience, and as you said, nursery rhymes. That's why it's taught in school, to learn it quickly and in more an interesting manner.
Yeah,
And definitely, definitely.
yeah.
How do you think dubbing has changed over the years? I'm sure you have seen it since the early 90s. So what are the pros and
Yeah.
what are the cons in the change that has occurred?
The pros are that, people are really, really, really appreciating quality a lot more. They're really wanting a lot of attention that goes into casting, a lot of attention that goes into writing, um, making sure that the performances are really, really, really good. We are paying a lot more attention to that. We're trying to bring in rope in actors also to bring a little difference in the way that a character is, played. Um, to that extent, I think people are giving it a little more importance now and
Okay.
therefore giving it more love and attention.
And what are the cons? What do you think has changed, which is not very good? The
Uh,
thing which is not very good.
yeah, the cons are the fact that because there's so much work going on, timelines have crunched completely, budgets are reducing, um, in some cases. But yeah, time is always too short, deadlines are too tight, and all the actors are so busy running around from one recording to the other that very often they don't have time or they don't have the mind space, the bandwidth to really sit and think about a performance and giving it their best shot. Sometimes they do get a little caught up with, oh, I have to run to the next one, let's do this quick and wrap it up. you
Okay.
know, as opposed to let's do a fantastic job, let's create
Job.
a character.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is one thing that, time is becoming short.
Sure.
Everyone has less time to give, and therefore, everyone's on the run a lot more. And secondly, earlier we used to get a lot of artists in together.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's all one by one. So,
Is it because
feeding
technically
off
also
each
we have
other.
advanced? Is it because we have advanced technically?
Technically, yes. Technically, we have advanced. That is one of the main reasons. But also the fact that, people have less time and they don't want to spend time. Because if I'm dubbing with you, you have to make time for my mistakes and
For
I
you?
have to make time for your
Yeah.
mistakes. So
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
to make time for each other.
And
We have to make
nowadays, no
time
one
for each
enjoys
other.
that. No one enjoys that nowadays.
Nobody has the patience. Nobody has the
Patience.
patience
That's
for
the
it.
right. That's the
The-
right. But everyone is on their
So,
toes. That's how it is.
yeah, and that is sad because I think it's not just in dubbing but everywhere that patience and tolerance is becoming low. So that is something I think is a great, great loss.
Um, Definitely, this is very true, and all of us agree with you on this fact. Many actors have come and dubbed in sound and vision for their respective films. Which actor you thought had the thing for dubbing as well? Who was great in dubbing, who didn't need much of training when it came to dubbing, along with his acting.
You mean known actors?
Yeah, someone who aced at dubbing as well. You know.
I think this time all the people who came for the Lion King, whether it was Asrani ji, oh my God, he was a dream to work with. Ashish Vidyarthi, Shreyas Talpade, Sanjay Mishra. My God, what caliber and what they brought to those
Oh
characters
my God, yeah, I
was
can imagine.
absolutely amazing. Was
And
absolutely amazing.
I've also seen, yeah, these are amazing actors, and I'm sure they're bringing that craft even when it comes to dubbing, and they're giving whole justice
Yeah.
to the character that they're dubbing. I've also seen photos of Hrithik Roshan dubbing in Sound and Vision. Madhuri Dixit had come, I guess.
Not
Ranveer
Hrithik
Singh,
Roshan, Madhuri Dixit, yes.
Madhuri Dixit had come, yeah, and I think
Yes.
Ranveer Singh. Also, you have a photo with him. Or
Ranveer Singh.
yeah, yeah.
For
So how are
Deadpool.
they when it comes
Yeah.
to dubbing?
Very good. They're very good. They're very good. And it does because they are so used to dubbing for themselves and not someone else. It does take them a little time to get into the groove. Like for example, Karina did Aka, the snake in Mowgli, the Netflix version
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Mowgli.
yeah, yeah.
She was amazing the way she took to the character so beautifully. And in the Disney version, it was done by Priyanka.
Priyanka Chopra,
And
yeah.
Priyanka brought her own style to it. Irfan, God bless his soul, who did Balu
Baloo,
in the Jungle Book.
Jungle Book.
When we first approached him, he was not confident about playing a bear in Punjab, playing a Punjabi style bear
Punjabi style bear.
because he said, I'm not very familiar with the Punjabi language. So why don't we try making him a Bengali or something that I'm familiar with? But then the writer said, I'm really convinced that this will work. Let's give it a try. And he said, okay, let's give it a try. And when we were directing him, he would say, okay, how should I say this? How would a Punjabi say this? And how would a Punjabi say that? And we would keep guiding him. And he did a marvelous job. He became the most lovable part of that film, you know.
I know.
And Om Puri ji was in that film, who was playing Bagheera. I mean, what strong personalities they gave to these characters.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
in the Netflix version, there was Anil Kapoor, who did Balu the Bear, who was
Okay.
so
Sure.
entertaining, and Jackie Shroff, who did
Bagheera.
Sher Khan.
Oh, okay.
Sher
Okay.
Khan. Bagheera was done by Abhishek Bachchan.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So very, very different, completely different casting of the two films, but each person brought their own personality to that character, which was fantastic. Fantastic. And
Amazing.
even
Amazing.
Ranveer Singh, when he saw Deadpool, he came to watch the film. He said, there is nobody else who can do this role other than me. He was
Oh,
like, he
okay.
he owned it. He owned it from day one. He was like, this is me. This is
This is
me. I'm doing this. Yeah.
Okay, now in the current
So that was
scenario,
very good.
yes. In the current scenario, how are you working? What is the status at the moment?
Oh, well, we've had 1.5 months of chilling, and then we finally hit upon some remote working solutions. So now we're able to do remote recordings online. So we're really encouraging voice actors to build their own home studios.
Okay,
And we are happy to help people with their own setups with recommendations on equipment, recommendations on how to set up, recommendations on how to build your acoustics. We do online testing with them to see if their setup is ready for recording. And then we add them to our database of artists who are ready for recording from home.
great. That's a great initiative, and I think we have to because we can't stop working. We have a lot of work to do. Before we end this session, I would like you to speak something in Bengali, sing or whatever you feel like, because I love the language, and unfortunately, I can't speak nor can I understand much of it. But since you have the Bengali roots and I love the language, can you speak or sing something in Bengali?
I will speak to you slowly, see if you can understand.
Okay, okay,
Okay?
let's go. Let's go.
রোহান, তোমার সাথে কথা বলে খুব ভালো লাগলো.
So, what I guess is, Rohan, it was nice to speak with. I loved a
Yeah.
lot. I loved a lot speaking to
হুম.
you. That's what you
হ্যাঁ,
said.
তোমার সাথে কথা বলে খুব ভালো লাগলো, আর আমি তোমার সাথে রেগুলারলি কথা বলতে চাই.
Thank you for that. I got it, okay? Anyway, thanks a lot, Monadi. Thanks a lot. It was an amazing session. I hope you liked it. I
You're
hope
most
you.
welcome. It was great fun talking to you.
It was fun. It was
And I hope
impromptu.
to
It was
see you
fun.
more often in the studios when it opens up. But get your home
It's
studio
one of
ready.
it's one of my biggest dreams to actually come and work in with you all in sound and vision.
Oh,
Some
you
projects.
will do, most definitely.
I really want to come over there and experience the sound and vision atmosphere, which I was lucky enough to experience. But again, I want to come. I want to work in sound and vision again. Hopefully, this
We all are
lockdown.
dying to work now. I think we're all done chilling.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Thanks a lot again, and I wish you all the best, all the good
Yeah.
luck. Yeah.
Thank you
See
so
you.
much.
See you
Wish you all
again.
the best with your voicing career,
Thank
and
you.
you're doing such fantastic work. You're an amazing dancer.
Oh,
I'm
thank
sure
you.
you're an amazing actor
Okay,
and
thank you.
an amazing voice actor. So all the best.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. See you guys. See you all the viewers,
Okay.
and we'll meet again definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Take
Bye
care,
bye.
Rohan.
See you.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.